Hi everyone, GWFawkes here with Model Gaming. Doing the Model Gaming Show live right after Sony's press conference, and going to be covering Ubisoft, a little bit of the PC game show, and Square Enix, and then Sony. So let me dig right into it. Give me a sec here. It's been a long day. Hope everyone's well. Let me get these up real quick. So we did Ubisoft, Square, Sony. All right. So really, I want to start off with Square Enix, which they just basically did a video. Nothing too crazy. They even rehashed trailers, man, and that kind of bums me out. When you're doing a show like that, you can't be rehashing trailers. What's the point of making the deals with those other companies and then not showing something new? So I just have a few things of note since it wasn't really a great conference. It was like 30 minutes maybe, and just a couple of things to note that I thought were cool. Monster Hunter World coming to Final Fantasy XIV. I have not played either of those games. I plan to play Monster Hunter when it comes out for PC, but yeah, I thought that was a cool announcement, cool inclusion, and I'm pretty stoked for it actually. I thought that was pretty clever, a great mix of those two, and a very smart announcement to get those two worlds together. The next is just a short trailer for Dragon Quest XI. Um, I'm interested in these games. I need to get a damn PlayStation 4 at this point to play all these games, and I need to get an extra day every week to play all these games. So hopefully I will get a chance to play that. It drops on September 4th of this year, so I'm looking very much forward to it. New game. I have not heard of this. Maybe you guys have. Maybe it's been announced somewhere else. Babylon's Fall. It's by Platinum Games. Comes out in 2019. Look cool. Cool trailer. Short, maybe a minute, minute and a half. You really couldn't get a gist of anything. So, hey, whatever. It's all good. And then same thing. The Quiet Man. It's like he uses silence. He like click, to go into silent mode or something like that. And it looked like a brawler. Graphics looked all right. Looked fun. Who the hell knows what that is? No date, no nothing, just the Quiet Man. And really, that was Square Enix's E3 2018. I'm pretty shocked actually. Nothing really of note that we haven't seen before. So, whatever. Moving on. Moving on to Ubisoft. They had another great year. They're probably my favorite behind Microsoft this year. Really well done. A lot of emotion, excuse me, and really things that didn't work for EA when tried by Ubisoft worked. They opened with Just Dance 2019 like they did. The dancing panda was very jolly and happy. Went right into Beyond Good and Evil 2, another story trailer that looked incredible, and the character from the main game is back, Jade, and they announced this is a prequel. Apparently that had been announced before. I didn't know of it. It was news to me. So, very, very cool. Then Joseph Gordon-Levitt came out to talk about the partnership that they're doing with Hit Record, which is his like passion project studio thing, where you actually collaborate to make art and music and pictures and all that stuff to be used in the background and radio stations and to fill out the world and to give the world character. I thought that was a genius idea. He was only on stage for a little bit, very impassioned. You could tell he was really excited. This is like a big get for him. And I read was told online that artists would be compensated. It's not working for free. You would be compensated for your work. And that was my only concern really. Beyond Good and Evil 2 had a great showing. Another trailer. They also showed pre-alpha footage of like the city, the worlds, some of the action. It looks incredibly detailed, and but this game's gonna cook. Okay, this ain't even probably a 2019 game. This is probably a next-gen game. At the very least, it's an Xbox One X game. So excuse me, and PS4 Pro game. So we'll see what actually happens when it comes out, but I'd say no earlier than 2020. That's the reality. Rainbow Six Siege came out. Just talked about esports and gaming, the upcoming season, and they had a documentary of some of the main folks like that are competing that are good called Another Mindset. It was a documentary. It drops on August 13th. It was a cool little trailer, and it's fun that Ubisoft does stuff like this. So then that goes right into the best thing I've seen at the conference so far, which was the main director, I think, or designer for Trials, rides in on a friggin' dirt bike wearing like a full on American red, white, and blue outfit with Trials on the back, and comes out to announce Trials Rising coming in February 2019. It looked incredible. You're going against a bunch of other people in it, and they really emphasized the different ways you can die, which I thought was very funny. He brought out Brad Hill, who he goes by Fat Shady online, who actually created a school, an online tutorials to get good at Trials, and they brought him in to do the tutorials for this game, which I thought was really cool. And they also brought in 20 other people that were very good at this game, that streamed and stuff like that with Brad to design levels and create levels and go into those tutorials. I thought that was really great, really fun moment, and the best part was he destroyed the podium, which was really funny. I know it was like a fake thing, but it totally reminded me of like a wrestling act. It was great. Um, Led into the Division 2. Raids are finally coming, which I know is a big thing. That game just has a ton of content, the first one. It really does. This set a really serious and gritty tone, and I don't know if it worked, but it just seemed really, really heavy for a game like that, and guys with numbers popping off of them and stuff like that. They are also releasing next year. There's going to be 3 DLCs, episode 1, 2, and 3, and they're all going to be free. Ubisoft, man, is on a roll. Now, granted, I don't play a lot of these games, but they really were on a stride, man. They just were going right through it, going right through it. Next, Super Jolly, Mario and Rabbids DK Adventure. It was already announced. It comes out June 26th. It looks like a standalone adventure. We saw like 3 or 4 different worlds in this game, and I have a Switch. I've been waiting for like the complete package to come out. This looks like another game, which is crazy. So when they release like all the DLCs and everything at once, I'm absolutely gonna pick this game up. But very cool way to do the presentation. The composer for the music, Grant Kirkhope, comes out with a very limited orchestra. I think it was like 6 or 7 players. Couple of like a violinist, a celloist, and forgetting what else. And then you had like a guitarist, a drummer on the other side, and he was conducting them based on it was like the DK music and then the Rabbids music. Very fun, really cool. Surprise of the show for Ubisoft for me was Skull and Bones. Last year it was just looked like a ship combat thing, and it was like cool, and everyone just kind of said this was already a part of Black Flags. Like, what's going on? It looks good, man. It was a great trailer, really cool demo, and it's coming out in 2019. But it looks like a full-fledged game now. You go on land, you take contracts, you can. They showed the game, right? And they showed that you can team up with people to take down a big ship, and then you can turn on those people. That really was the surprise of the show for me. It looked gorgeous. That must have been running on a damn expensive computer, I'll tell you that. Transference, Elijah Wood came out, had a little moment. It was cool. It was definitely fun, and just seemed like a fun, messed up VR game. Yeah, fall 2018. Cool. I'm in. I'm down. Another surprise of the show. Okay, like the in terms of just like a cool moment, right? Starlink. Okay, this looked like a little more cartoony-ish. No Man's Sky with like the controller has like different like action figures that you put on your controller, and you can swap out stuff to change your ship on the fly, which I thought was cool. It's just like a cool little gimmick, and it looked good. And then all of a sudden Star Fox was in it, and that's awesome to bring him back that way. I think it's a great fit for them. I think that's a way for Ubisoft and Nintendo's partnership to continue, and I'm really excited to see what they come up with next. Like it honestly makes me excited for like next year's E3. Maybe we get some other crazy, mashup together. I don't know. It's just it seems the possibilities are endless, and to throw something that's as natural fitting as that into it was very, very smart. For Honor, update, starter edition is available for free for a week. Once you have that, you have it. Um, New expansion coming out called Marching Fire. Had the new faction is the Chinese, and they look awesome. It's Chinese martial artists. They have this flair to them where they're just like they know they're badass. It's really cool. And then they introduced a new mode along with Marching Fire called Castle Siege, where you're sieging a castle. It looks really cool. 44 players at a time, I think they said, or it might have been no, it wouldn't be four. That doesn't make sense. So I think it was 44 players. Great to just have an update on that. That community's thriving. It's doing well, and they keep adding to it, which is great. Just a little quick snippet on Crew 2 because it's out June 21st. 10 days, and the open beta is playable like right now, I think they said. So that's it. They have an open beta right now to like get some of the kinks out, and cool. Then their big, they ended with their big guns, which it sucks that this was leaked because this would have been a really great surprise. Um, and it's too bad because as much as Assassin's Creed Origins looks great, Assassin's Creed Odyssey looks fantastic. They can go in so many directions with this. They can go uh, mystical. They can go with the gods. They can go. It looks great. For the first time in an Assassin's Creed game, you can choose male or female, which is great. And also for the first time, you have branching paths for voice options, decisions, right? Like in Mass Effect, you can have branching choices that have consequences. First time, you play as the son or daughter of somebody, you're a mercenary, and you have the Blade of Leonidas, the famous Spartan, that has magical powers. They're going all out with it. They're going very, very Greek god with it, and it looks cool. Just what I thought was funny is a character named now I don't know if it's spelled with C or it's just a language, but Socrates is in it, which I thought was a nice touch. They always get cool historical people in it. But yeah, Assassin's Creed looked great. There's naval warfare again, it looks like, and the world looks gorgeous. I can't stress that enough. I know all of the worlds look gorgeous, but this setting just looks like something special, and it's actually got me super hyped on an Assassin's Creed game. It comes out October 5th. It's really soon. That's 4 months away. I didn't think it was going to be coming that soon. It's going to be a friggin' ridiculously crowded holiday season. Yeah. Next, I just watched some of it. I caught up on it, and I watched a lot of it last year, but um, uh, you know, it's just a lot to watch, frankly, and I had work. So, for me, the high notes of the PC gaming show were Yakuza Kiwami, Yakuza 0, Shining Residence, Valkyria Chronicles 4, and Shenmue 1 and 2 are all coming to PC, which is cool. I thought that was a great announcement. And finally, those games are coming, and I'm really looking forward to actually to Yakuza 0 and Yakuza Kiwami. I've never played a game in that series, and this will give me the chance to. I really want to play and start with 0 and work my way up since they're remastering all these damn games. And the best game that I saw and that I took a look at was Insomniac's games VR game Stormland. You could feel the budget on this thing, man. They're putting a lot of money into that. It looks great. You play it as a robot gardener kind of thing where you're flying. Look, flying just looks awesome in VR. You're flying and excuse me, it's been a long day. Um, and it just looks really picturesque and incredible. Um, and that's it for the PC gaming show. let me get a swig of water right here first. Lot to talk about for Sony's. Lot to talk about. So, for Sony, I have mixed feelings on on this press conference, simply because it was odd how they did it, and I don't understand quite why they did it that way. Um, what they did was they set you up in this church-like tent studio um, stage, and they had Gustavo Santaolalla. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Santaolalla. Ah, tough last name. Come out, play the banjo, play music for The Last of Us, and then it's a cutscene interspersed with gameplay. For me, this was the highlight of their press conference. It was tense and brutal, and the animations. I don't say this lightly. The animations looked fucking incredible. Uh, Truly, the face detail, the detail of this world. I have not played the first game. Again, PS4, and this just looks incredible. It's really tense footage. Everything has an impact. Every hit, every stab, every arrow, every gunshot, it has an impact. And it was extremely violent. Extremely violent. Extremely graphic. And that was a great way to open the show. The problem was that they had to then shuffle the 300 people or however many friggin' people there were into another studio, onto another stage, right? So Sean Layden initially came out and, welcomed everyone. Then he went to this outside stage with a couple of hosts, and they talked about, a bunch of stuff and, how thankful they are to be there and yada, 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 BS, right? And then he left. They brought out a couple more people. They showed really quick trailers for a few games, 15-second trailers for Tetris Effect, which looks cool, Days Gone, Twin Mirror, Ghost Giant, and Beat Saber, stuff that had been announced prior or that is out prior. Then they showed one longer trailer for Destiny 2. It was just a CG trailer, Destiny 2 Forsaken. I have no vested interest in that game, so whatever. Then once everyone was in the final stage, they went into the rest of their conference. But man, I can tell you that was jarring. It was boring, it was jarring, and the setup wasn't worth the payoff in my opinion. You could have done exactly what you did in one stage to not set the same scene in Last of Us to mimic the same press conference. I don't know. I thought that was a misstep, but really it didn't matter because the last 30 minutes of this, or last 40 minutes of this conference was just dynamite. They led right into Ghost of Tsushima, starting with a badass flute player. I don't care what anyone says. That was awesome. That dude could friggin' play, and it was cool to have that. Cool to set this tone, and the heading is Mongol Invasion Day 9, and I'm guessing that's just a chapter in it, whatever, chapter 3 or whatever it is. And great trailer, great gameplay footage that they did. It looks like in both The Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima, there's very limited HUD. Like in Ghost of Tsushima, there was no HUD. I imagine they just got rid of that, just to make it easy on themselves, right? And to make it look very cinematic. Great action gameplay. It looks like there's maybe a high, medium, and low way you do the sword and everything like that. There's parrying like God of War. It looks great. It is also extremely violent. Back to back, just violent games. One of the cool ass things is one of the Mongols is blowing his horn for backup, and you stab him through one of the paper doors, which is awesome. I mean, that's just a really cool thing. Um, the game looks incredible. It ends with a fight scene between one of your allies, and it is one of the most picturesque fights I've ever seen in any video game. One of the most picturesque moments. It looks like you could throw that as your background on your wallpaper, okay? It's like a painting. It's you and an ally fighting, and there's red leaves all around, and there's a red tree, and they frame it like a fighting game where you're back and forth, and you're fighting this ally of yours, and then the Mongols start shooting flame arrows and everything starts burning around, and it looks friggin' incredible. That was a great follow up. Um, and then out of nowhere, a trailer for Remedy's new game, Control. It just looks like an even crazier Inception sci-fi game like Quantum Break. I like Quantum Break a lot. It's definitely one of the most fun games I've played on this system on Xbox One. So if this is coming out for Xbox as well, I'm all in. It just looked like they took Quantum Break and said, how can we amp this up and make it crazy? Great. Then that led right into Resident Evil 2 Remake, and man, does that game look friggin' cool. Don't think I've played that since the N64. Maybe I should, or maybe I should just wait. But I think this is the only game that they released, that they showed, that has a release date, like a firm release date, and that is January 25th, 2019. Not that bad, not far away, which is cool. Hey, 7 months, you'll have it. Great. Um, Whatever. And it was a pre-rendered, you know. So the first part of it looked like a CG scene, but then the rest of it looked like all in-engine, in-game stuff. I mean, there was a shot of Leon walking over the shoulder with rain on his jacket, looking out at the buildings and stuff, and it looked friggin' good, man. It looked really good. Also violent, really good. Then they had to put this in somewhere. A really weird Justin Roiland game called Trover Saves the Universe. Don't even know what it is. It looks like 3D platforming. Hey, must have paid some money. They must like working with him to throw that in there. And then that followed up with Kingdom Hearts 3, a brand new trailer, brand new footage of Pirates of the Caribbean 3 when they're in basically hell and sailing the ship on the sand dunes, and Captain Jack Sparrow, Orlando Bloom. I meant I said Captain Jack Sparrow. So yes, Captain Jack, and then Orlando. I don't remember anybody's character's name except for him, but like all of the characters from those movies are there with him. They look pretty damn good. They also showed more of Hercules, a little bit of Frozen, Entangled, Monsters Inc., Toy Story 3. Like I said before, I'm hyped for Kingdom Hearts 3. I've never played any of the originals. They have one package that they said they're doing a Kingdom Hearts PlayStation 4, and then they have one package with all the games. I'll probably, by the end of the year, I might have a PlayStation 4, and so we'll see what happens. If I do, I will want to definitely play. I'll definitely want to play the 2.8 saga and play all the games all the way through. Then we got into the last haul here, Death Stranding. Really interesting. A lot of context was dropped. A lot of lore was dumped. You're basically, it looks like you're almost like a delivery man. That's what he says. He says, I just make deliveries. You're a delivery man of what? We don't know. You've got this baby on your chest that helps you sense these monsters that can float. It looks like a stealth action game, but definitely heavier on the stealth, the mood, the atmosphere. I don't think this is going to be a 40+ hour game. I think this is going to be like a 12-hour movie. That's kind of how it feels for me. It's pretty remarkable. It's pretty tense. they showed gameplay of you walking and traversing the environment. And what's cool, they definitely took a page from Zelda, getting on all fours and climbing up hills, which is really cool. Um, and then introduced more of the cast. Lea Seydoux is in it as well, and yeah, it just I don't know what to make of the game yet. I'm like from the very beginning, my interest is there. So if it comes out and it's a good game, great. And if it's not, oh well, But my interest right now is there. Who knows if it's coming out this gen? No release date, no nothing. So this is going to be in the tank for a while. I imagine it's going to be 2020. Just a cool, quick trailer, Neo 2 announcement, which looked cool. It looks like you're turning into a demon to fight the demons. Pretty cool. Um, Neo is supposed to be a great first game. It's like a Dark Souls game, so I'm out. I'm out right off the bat. But yeah, looks really fun. And then they ended with Spider-Man 2, which was also really cool. Basically, you're at the raft, the Marvel raft where all the bad guys are held, and Electro is there blowing everything up, just causing havoc, and you basically shows you interacting with Electro, Rhino, Scorpion, Vulture, and Mr. Negative. You're chasing Electro, fighting bad guys. The combat looks like the Arkham Asylum. That's what it reminds me of, the Arkham games, Batman games, and that Rocksteady did, but more acrobatic, more cinematic, special moves, and it moves at a fast pace, man. The chase, like, you're moving fast in a lot of this, which is cool. Running up walls sideways, and it looked great. It ended with a great gotcha moment, about who's letting people out, like friggin' usual suspects moment. And yeah, overall, besides that weird misstep, Sony had another great press conference. Really showed you gameplay, long gameplay of all these games, and take deep dives on those 4 games, and interspersed it with a lot of cool shorter stuff. I mean, that's what you want in a conference. I still think Ubisoft's was better. I still think Microsoft's was better, just because of the amount that they showed and of just straight stuff. But these games are really anticipated, and so I know people might consider that to be more noteworthy. But for me, Microsoft still was the best, and then Ubisoft, and then Sony. But it's like comparing, your favorite 3 ice creams. They're all good, okay? They're all almost equal level, really. It's just personal preference at this point, great conferences, okay? And Nintendo's tomorrow. Looking forward to it. That's gonna be it for me tonight. I'm gonna for this show, I'm gonna take a little break real quick, and in like 10-15 minutes or so, I'm gonna be back on with Case of the Mondays. So stick around if you want to watch that. But I'm GWFawkes, FAWKES. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter. And this is the Model Gaming Show. This is Model Gaming, twitch.tv/Model Gaming Show. I'm here every Sunday through Wednesday at around 7 to 8 p.m. Just check the schedule. And yeah, thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. It's been a great E3 so far, and Nintendo's probably going to bring it tomorrow with Smash. So really looking forward to that, and have a good night.